Hello and welcome to Naivety Gaming. I'm your host Matt, and this is the 23rd week of Cheap Weekly Thrills. For those who don't know, Cheap Weekly Thrills is where I browse Steam and find games that have been released in the past week for $5 or less. Now, this week is the week of March 6th, 2018, and as you can see, some pretty big games have come out within this past week. Pit People, the DLC for Warhammer Vermintide. More importantly, and bigger news than that, Where the Water Tastes Like Wine, where I probably will have to pick that up at some point in time. I found out about it because one of my favorite composers, indie composers, Ryan Ike, decided to compose for that, or was hired, or whatever, for that kind of project, and I'm very excited to play the game because it sounds like it's a lot of fun. But since this is not a show that discusses popular games, this is a show that discusses those kind of games that you haven't really heard about, and the game of this week is called IN-VERT. So IN-VERT is, featuring a character that looks quite a lot like the character from Fez, without the Fez hat, of course. But anywho, IN-VERT. This is a short, hardcore, enthralling puzzle platform game about a lonely robot which tries to find his master. To go all the way, you'll have to look for the master in 2 dimensions at the same time. Parallel World module will help to overcome any obstacles. So yeah, basically, as you can tell, it's your, if you can't find a way through the first dimension, you get a switch dimensions, which gives you a parallel map that may give you a open path. So this game is by the developer TERNOX, I believe, and it is currently 10% off until March 9th, which I believe is Friday. It is Friday. 10% off, so it's currently $2.69 versus essentially $3. So pick it up while you can. So, like I was saying, this game is called IN-VERT, and it also has a little bit of a soundtrack bundle for 28% off. So again, if you like your deals, you can pick that up. So I'll give this a quick little test to make sure that it works, and I'll see you guys in just a bit. Hello and welcome to IN-VERT. A game that is a fast-paced platformer that the main character very resembles the main character of Fez, apart from the Fez hat. Starting out, you've got kind of like a really cool EDM-esque, like chiptune, like soundtrack, which I quite like a lot. So starting out, the game does not really explain controls a whole lot, which I'll do so for you if you're watching this, which I hope you are. That was a poor terminology. Anyway, so this actually does have controller support, which I was quite happy to hear about. So using your left joystick, you can move left and right, and then you can use A to jump, as every other platformer game should normally have their controls set to. So just by tapping A, you get like this quick little bounce, but if you hold it, you can really go much higher. So it's kind of gauging what jump distance you want and being able to replicate that. Now, as you can probably see right here, you've kind of got this little shadowy area. You're like, well, what's all that about? As the game's premise is, you can flip between dimensions, so you can solve puzzles a lot. Well, you can solve puzzles in a different way than just a standard way. So for example, by hitting, I believe it is X, you get a flip dimensions, so then you can see the shadow of the first realm, kind of where it'll be, but if you do that, it'll just kind of, I was not expecting that, it'll actually put you back in the, instead of killing you, it'll just kind of warp you up and whatever. So, tripping up over here, dropping back down, tripping over. So again, in the first dimension, that's just completely blocked off, but in this dimension, it's like, whoa, you can go through stuff. Look at that. Yeah. So already, we're, hold on. 4 levels in. How many worlds are there? Well, there's 4, so there's 60 levels, but as you can tell, you just absolutely plow through some of these levels, so it's pretty simplistic for the moment being. Wonder what that is. I got something. I'm not sure what it was, but I got something. Can't. Whoa, it's getting so difficult. What? Ouch. Probably shouldn't have said that. So, again, it's pretty self-explanatory at this point. We're starting to get into a little bit more interesting kind of levels. Now we're supposed to get up there. Ah, there it is. So apparently you can move these little boxes around. I believe there's like a little gray kind of outline to it, or a slightly darker outline, so you kind of know that you can move it about versus it being part of the background. And probably should not fail as hard as I am right now. There we go. Okay, so we've got that. Nice job, Matt. Nice job. There we go. So my only critique for the moment being... Oh, I think I've screwed up royally, didn't I? Yeah. So my only critique that I have right now is maybe having more sound design. Maybe having like a death sound or something kind of like that. Or maybe like a pushing sound and a walking sound, you know, just additional kind of crap. But so far so good. It's the gameplay is very much so there. I do enjoy it quite a lot. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm sucking so bad at this. There we go. This only took me long enough. Sweet. There we go. Making quite a bit of progress now. And I believe at this kind of point, you guys can generally get to see the idea of the game. It's the nice thing about the game is versus other games that I've played in the past, where it's this game seems to introduce mechanics a lot quicker than other games. So it's like every level you get a new mechanic that you can deal with, which is pretty nice because you can kind of get used to the old ones as you're learning the new ones, and it's you gotta learn a lot pretty quickly. So that was the 23rd week of Cheap Weekly Thrills. If you've liked this content, please like and subscribe. We'd always appreciate additional subscribers. If you picked up another game for $5 or less this week, or you picked up this game and you want to share your opinions, make sure you comment down in the comment section down below. We'd always love to hear what you guys have to say. And like I was saying, this game is IN-VERT. I am your host, Matt, and we'll see you guys next week in the 24th week of Cheap Weekly Thrills. So, bye-bye.